What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the blue color, playing as Hades. His name is Nullus. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Oranos. His name is Grassengroom. He does the grass, and he grooms the grass. That's what he does. Unless it's or maybe he's talking about the grass which he kind of inhales in his room. The G room, the green room. No? Anyways, Oranos versus Hades on Frozen Waste. I actually love this matchup. I think this matchup changes like how the strategy. It basically changes the strategy of this matchup, in my opinion, quite a lot. So, for example, what Hades normally wants to do is grab a fast second town center and then sit and be defensive, wall up, and be fine. But what this map actually allows is for the Oranos player to do exactly what the Oranos player wants to do, which is be really, really aggressive, multiple different raiding locations, distracting the opponent's army, killing villagers over here while the army is getting distracted, and just basically skyrocketing to the late stages of the game, early late stages of the game for the Oranos to get a really, really big timing to get full map control and get 4 town centers to 2 town center advantage and convert that into a victory. That's the Oranos game plan. And normally it's really, really tough to do against Hades because Hades gets maps like Watering Hole, maps like Marsh, even maps like Oasis, where there's just not good opportunities for that type of play. But on Frozen Wastes, just look at this. You've got an open gold mine here around the back. You've got an open wood line here around the back. You've got this gold mine over here, which is protected by the forest, but there's only a handful here. You can definitely get in onto this with some Terma and get some easy damage done onto this gold mine. There's a lot that could be, there's a lot that could actually happen here. Now, we must talk about this because this is huge for Nullus. He's got a crazy good second town center here with 5 or so elks on this. And a gold mine and a decent wood line. Now, this is still going to be relatively open, but with sentinels, Nullus might be happy to grab this town center nice and early. Now, all that being said, you can actually still play incredibly aggressive a la Zeus here with Hades. There's a really, really strong build order which Greek players can do. I've talked about it before. It's a 4-minute advance time. And what you can do with this advance time is get yourself out a military academy, a stable, 2 heroes, and a 4-minute advance time, and put immediate pressure onto your opponent. You can go through Ares, you can go through Athena, it doesn't really matter. And then the big bonus of what Hades can do is when you want to be dropping that 3rd military building, you can actually make that an archery range because Hades has got like the cheeky faster Toxotes. It's a slightly faster, it's like 4.2 speed or something instead of 4.0 speed. But they've got the faster archers. They've also got the stronger archers as well. They deal extra damage. So those are things that they can do. Now, we are seeing that Nullus is going to be getting himself out an early Ajax here, advancing around 441-ish. And Prometheus is on the way now for Grassengroom. A little bit late for Grassengroom. He must have had some issues in the early game here. He's moving forward onto these forward walrus, and this is going to be the Ajax moving forward. We do see the Oracle moving back around onto this position over here just to defend. We've got villagers over here onto the gold on this location, eating the hunt over here. This lone Oracle is going to be the attempt to defend against Ajax harassment, but we do see that a Black Lotus has been found here for Nullus. This one's huge for Nullus because it effectively means that Nullus is going to be able to stay in the classical age a lot longer than he otherwise might want to. If you have a Black Lotus, farming in the classical age is completely fine. Now, normally my strategic sense tells me that if I need to farm in the classical age, let me start again. Normally, I feel like I don't want to farm in the classical age. That's what I want to do. So I play around how many resources I have and try and get to the heroic age at the very least before I start farming so that I can get myself irrigation, if at all possible. when you have Black Lotus, that's not really a part of the strategic thinking here, as the villagers immediately start making their way over to this town center. I'm going to be grabbing this one, the Ajax, no pressure going just yet. Just 4 villagers onto this town center. A couple more going to be making their way over here just as Nullus gets the next little bit of gold he needs for whatever he wanted to research there. As the Chiron is out, the Minotaur bashes that Oracle to its death there. And the game is going to continue here. We've got the Promethean already out. We've got the military barracks, counter barracks already dropped down on this forward location in order to try and defend against this, defend this food as well. Meanwhile, we've got the villagers all moving back into the main base over here. For Nullus, he's finished up his walrus over here. The town center is 100% going to get up here. He's got 7 villagers on it, so going to be going for this defensive play. We'll see what Grassengroom's options are here. I do think the Grassengroom can definitely stay one town center on this map and find very, very successful raids, very, very successful everything here, especially with the open gold mine at the back here. The wood lines over here are all open as well. Yes, there's going to be a wood line here that Nullus can grab, but I think in general, every single one of these locations are going to be a tough thing to defend off of 2 town centers. So we'll see what Grassengroom is going to want to do. There is a tendency for Oranos players to react to a 2 town center Greek by going 3 town centers themselves, and that really slows down that early game pressure that they're able to put on. So we'll see if that's what Grassengroom is going to go for. It does allow for a really, really strong heroic or mythic age timing, so that'll be important. But with the sentinels down now even these berry bushes are somewhat open. Nullus hasn't actually defended his sentry towers just yet, and he's going to be wanting to get himself watchtowers here and really, really play hyper defensive. That's super important to do. We did see that this relic has been neglected here. Negative 25% Secret of the Titans cost might not seem like a decent relic because it's kind of late game specific, but in this matchup, some sort of fast Titan here could be really, really good as well. And saving that 25% ends up being something like a 500-ish resource saving. Does it save the favor as well? Is that? Yeah, it saves the favor as well. So you're looking at a crazy amount of saved resources in the end of the day if you go for a relatively fast Titan, which is obviously you want to save those resources. So we might see that relic getting grabbed. We do see the town center coming up for Grassengroom. Both of the town centers actually coming up for Grassengroom here. So he is going for this more boomy, more defensive, not defensive, more like mythic age orientated gameplay. So we'll see if that's going to work out for him in this game. The walls are up. Still, Nullus, he hasn't got himself watchtowers. So for all of this time, had this been scouted, if we take a quick look at what Grassengroom spotted, he actually doesn't know where anything is in his opponent's base. So he needs to get in here and spot this all out before anything more happens. It's the Military Academy archery range getting thrown down here, and Grassengroom getting caught out. This is one of the most brutal little timings which Greek has access to him, and this really, really hurts the Oranos player here, preventing this town center from going up when he wants it. And that was almost up as well. And it's taking so much damage. It's going to be completely destroyed here as the Valor comes in. The Citizen going to be returning back over here, going to attempt to build this one back up, as now the Minotaur here is going to get targeted down immediately, attempting to retreat away. But it looks like the units are in here for Grassengroom now, as the Promethean does get killed off. No, not really a big issue here. The Katoskopot's going to go down as well. The town center is continuing to go up as Grassengroom gets himself his second town center up. But at this point, he's running out of the hunt. There's no hunt left, so he's going to have to jump onto berries, onto herdables, and all the other good stuff there. As the Promethean getting taken down, we see a cheeky restoration over here as well, as the units have to retreat away. There's just not enough in here for Grassengroom. Nullus is making this timing work beautifully here, as Grassengroom is in a terrible, terrible position. But will this pressure be able to continue to last, as these units are chasing down the straggler units over here, trying to finish off this this Hoplite 1 Terma over here getting dealt with. It looks like Grassengroom not microing over there in the slightest, as we see a little bit of micro over here trying to deal with these little amounts of units. We see the Ajax is getting taken out. The Citizen now, the unit under attack, going to be getting finished off. This is absolutely huge for Nullus. We see the Citizen retreating, but too little, too late. The town center still is not up for Grassengroom. That's like 700 resources here that is being wasted, and Grassengroom is going to be kicking himself forever and a day for not having units on this one defending it while it was going up, not having the line of sight, seeing the units coming in. And we see the Citizen making its way over here. It will be able to finish the town center off, but this is super late here for Grassengroom. Nullus getting his farms up. He's going to be super happy. Remember, he does have that relic. He's got himself Plow, I'm sure, coming through in the near future here as well. We see the archery range. He's going up for more of these. This is going to be so huge for Nullus. We'll see exactly what's going to happen here. We do see the berries getting eaten here for Grassengroom, so that will be a slight advantage, though the villagers being this far forward means there's been a lot of walking time having to come up here, and sometimes it's just not worth it to do that. For berries, as the units are moving out here. Where's Nullus going with these units is the big question. He is looking forward. He might run straight through these berries, and that's going to be idle villages, as Grassengroom is not going to be happy about that one either. These units are out of position as well, not defending his villagers over here. We see the villagers retreating, going to be garrisoning into the manor. No problems there. Little bit of idle time as they're going to be attempting to retreat away, repairing up that manor as best as they can as the army coming through. Nullus going to have to retreat away. Grassengroom now has his 3 town centers up, trying to produce from all 3 of those while producing units. 95 of 125 population, 15 villages to 61 villages. A big shockwave coming in here for Grassengroom, as Nullus is getting himself medium infantry. The population is incredibly similar here at this point, so I'm not even sure if the Oranos army quite wins this fight. Not only that, you do have to be aware that there's going to be shades coming through as well if you want to be taking these fights. Every like 3-ish units that dies is roughly 1 Hades shade. It's kind of random, but you can basically... Wait, let me see exactly what... it's a 20% chance. So maybe every 5 units that dies is roughly one Hades shade. So every time you're fighting is kind of, if you're fighting at an equal footing, that's actually an in favor fight for the Hades to be taking. And at this point, if you do the quick math, 67 villages is more than 19 villages. So Nullus is getting more economy than Grassengroom is at this point, as the Hoplites coming through are going to be taking out those Murmillo as best as they can. The Toxotes going after these Murmillo over here as the Terma retreats back. Grassengroom running away. He's going to have to retreat with his Citizen as well. 84 of 125 population. Lots of gold in the bank here for Grassengroom. He's got villagers on these gold mines over here. He does have a polar bear over here that he could quickly shoot and stop grabbing gold for just a little bit. And Nullus takes this time to grab the 3rd town center. Now, normally I would say that Hades doesn't normally want to get the 3rd town center in the classical age. Much better to go heroic age, get access to curse, and then get this town center up with irrigation. But like I said, he's got himself the farming relic, which means this is completely fine. He's going to have a huge amount of extra food income than he otherwise would have had. And there's just no reason not to get this town center now. It's not going to delay his mythic age that much, if at all. He's basically already at 80 villages, 117 of 145 population. Nullus is writing the textbook right now on Hades versus Atlantean gameplay, as Grassengroom is going to be looking around the map trying to find something to kill. There's these villagers on this wood line. They're a little bit weak, but again, if we take a look at Grassengroom's scouting, he knows there's villagers here. He knows that there's a watchtowers up. He knows that there's a potential gold mine over here and over here. Does he know that this one's here? He does know there's this gold mine over here, but right now, Grassengroom is sending his army essentially to the wrong location. He doesn't know exactly where he should be moving it, as the army retreating away from this manor. Nullus taking the opportunity to kill off Manus here, role-playing as Zeus a little bit here with the Hoplite Toxotes army, as Ajax coming in to say good day. We do see the army is going to spot some villagers here. This is going to be a little bit of an assistance now for Grassengroom. Grassengroom seemingly has hit max villagers now, 25 of 25, but Nullus is 80 villagers. And if you know anything about how the economy kind of works, Normally Oranos, as we see this huge attack coming onto this town center, normally Oranos finds their advantage economically by being ahead on the village account. By like they have every one citizen is worth 3 villages, right? About that. And you get them a little bit faster. But in this situation, Nullus has gotten his villages before Grassengroom, so Nullus is completely fine to take these types of fights here. 125 of 125 population versus 145 of 145 population. Nullus able to advance to the next age here. He's taken out these Murmillo incredibly easily. The hoplites pulling off here, going to be jumping straight over onto these Terma. The Terma trying to mark it to the best of their ability. They can dodge Toxodia arrows, but at this point, Grassengroom's army is nowhere to be seen. He's got no gold in the bank for whichever reason, trying to make Prometheans here. As Grassengroom trying to hold on 6 Murmillo inside of this town center. The villager not able to continue repairing here. He does have masons at this point, so going to be able to hold on to that one, but just a little bit. Still housed at this point as Nullus clicks up through Aphrodite. The Murmillo popping out of the town center, trying to hold on over here as we see the hoplites, the Toxodies, just too strong for Grassengroom in this point in this game here. He's still trying to produce units. He's got himself only 4 military buildings at this point with huge amounts of food, huge amounts of wood, just no gold in the bank. He needs to take villages off of food now, all over to gold. He's got tons of gold left in his home base, but he is going to be losing this town center at any point in the near future. It's going down, and what Nullus can do now is he can effectively just grab these villages off of food. He's got tons of food himself and just move forward with those villages, help take the town center down, and actually have that for himself go up to 4 town center advantage with Hades. Going to be incredibly tough for Grassengroom to find his way back into this game. Grassengroom now sitting idle with these 6 citizens. He's trying to pull them back, coming over onto this location. We see watchtowers coming through for Grassengroom. Still tons of food in the bank, losing houses left, right, and center. No wood left in the bank either, as Grassengroom kind of needs to rebuild all of his military buildings here. Irrigation coming through immediately for Nullus as he hits the heroic age. Heavy infantry, heavy archers, shaftmine, bowsaw, still with plenty of food and gold in the bank. I'm sure a market is being dropped somewhere on the map in the near, or getting dropped in the near future. And I wouldn't be surprised to see anything. I would be surprised, to see anything other than Artemis in this position. Artemis is going to completely wipe out another town center. We haven't seen Nullus attempting to grab this town center just yet, being a little bit respectful of the Oranos threat as Thea is going to be coming through. We see some watchtowers getting dropped down by Grassengroom right now as Curse gets dropped down, mana coming through. We've got hoplites here dealing 9.6 damage per second. We do see a cheeky shockwave coming in as Nullus is putting the pressure on. We see the Promethean coming in, and it looks like Nullus is deciding to say, all right, gonna pull back. Artemis on the way anyways. Villagers coming forward, gonna grab this town center. Nullus knows that he doesn't need to finish the game right here, and he's trying to push in, doing all the other good stuff. We see the hoplites pulling back, the Terma getting taken out over here as Nullus is going to be retreating back to this town center. We see a couple of units popping out here, being a little bit annoying on these villages, but in the end, Nullus not going to care all too much about this one. Let's check out the armory upgrades here for Nullus as well. He's only got a few, but look at this. He's going up to quarry and carpenters here. That's crazy. 16 minutes into the game, fully upgraded economy, basically just needs to get flood control, copper weapons coming through, fully upgraded army in terms of line upgrades for this point in the game. He'll be able to jump up to champion infantry, champion Toxotes immediately here as well. He's going to have 160 population. He doesn't have fortified town centers coming through just yet, but he's going to be able to grab that very, very soon. And Grassengroom, he needs to figure out some way to deal some amount of damage to Nullus. I don't know what it's going to be. Maybe going through Helios straight away. I don't think he's got time. He's getting upgrades here. He's getting quarry through at this point, but he just doesn't have the resources. He's got some pigs he can eat in his base to boost his food economy just a little bit. He's up on this top location, and we see, look at this Nemean line. 1, 2, 3 dead citizen here, but the Stymphalian bird will be able to finish off that Nemean line there, as the market is up for Grassengroom, but no resources whatsoever, as the army quality that Nullus has is just too strong for Grassengroom. The Earthquake gets cast, and Grassengroom taps out. GG, well played by Nullus. A seemingly textbook game here from Nullus. Now, This is a learning experience for Oranos players here, because this build that Grassengroom went for, where you go for an immediate 3 town center response against the 2 town center from the from the Hades player, you gotta have eyes on the heroes. That's vitally important, because they're going to move out and they're going to attack your town center. And all you have to do is be harassing them as they're coming to the town center, and you're going to get it up. If you let the Minotaur get onto the town center, that's painful. But that's the point. When you decide you're going 3 town centers as Oranos, you're deciding to give up on somewhere between the 6 and 8 minute mark of potential aggression onto your opponent. You build roughly 6 units. That's all you need. 3 Murmillo, 3 Terma. That's all you need. You drop the town centers, and then you need to figure out which location is more weak and defend that. In this situation, it seemed like the top town center was, but Nullus could have definitely picked either one, which makes this 3 town center play a little bit more difficult. But all you got to do is do some scouting, find where the heroes are, keep a good eye on them, and then make sure you track them coming into your town center, and you're going to be able to be completely fine there. And if you do get the town centers up, that doesn't necessarily mean you've won the game, but that's a way at which you can overcome this apparent weakness that Nullus exploited. And a very, very informative game here for the Hades players, and also the Atlantean players, mind you. If you guys enjoyed this one, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTubes, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.